Boker Tov. Welcome to Agudath Israelite's Ahayem Synagogue here in Montgomery, Alabama. I am Rabbi Scott Kramer. Thank you for joining me for this Thursday morning. So looking forward to the weekend. Of course, I always look forward to Shabbat, but this Saturday morning, of course, we are welcoming Toria Stark and Carl Sayers to our services. They will both be co-leading. They are both cantorial students at AJR and have phenomenal voices and talent. So hopefully you'll be able to join us either in person or online. We're doing both. For now, please join me for the morning service. We are praying out of Siddur Sim Shalom. We begin with the Birchot HaShachar, page 6. Please rise if you are able. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasach v'vina lavchin ben yom u'ven laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani b'tzomahu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani ben Chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Pokeach Ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mabi sharmim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asirim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zakev kufufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rakal haaretz alamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asali kotzarki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oteser b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanotehin layoef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Utenenu hayom avachol yom l'chein l'chesed rachem b'benecho v'necho edveting melenu chasadim tovim baruch atah Adonai gomer chasadim tovim li'amo Yisrael. You may be seated. We continue page 14 with Psalm 30. Mizmor Shir Chanukah T'Bayla David. Havachtem ispedi l'mocholi pitakti sachivas ganisim chalaman yizmech chavad v'loidom Adonai Elahai le'elam odeka. We rise once again for the beginning of Psukei Zimra, page 16, and join me for Baruch She'amar. Baruch She'amar ve'haya ulam Baruch Hu Baruch Yosef Reshit Baruch Hamev Yosef Baruch Gozerim Kayim Baruch Merachim al Haaretz Baruch Merachim al Habriot Baruch Mishalim Sachar Tov L'Orev Baruch Hayla V'Kayam Lo Netzach Baruch P'Damatzio Baruch Shemo Baruch Et Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Yachid Chayil Mi Melech Mishibak V'dei Shema Gadol Baruch Et Adonai Melech Mehulal Batishpachot. You may be seated. Continue page 21 with Ashrei. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Od Yalu Chesed L'Hashem Shekacha Lo Ashrei Shadonai Elohabti Lila David. תהילת אדוני דבר פיו יברך ובשר שם קדשו לעולם ועד ואנחנו נברך יום יטוב עולם. Hallelujah. Page 25 in the middle, Psalm 150. Hallelujah. Hallelujah because Pikia Uzo. Hallelujah. Vigvorot of Lakorav good low. Hallelujah. Betega Shafar. Hallelujah. Beneva Vechinor. Hallelujah. Benofamacho. Hallelujah. Benmin Mim Viugav. Hallelujah. Vitziotslay Shema. Hallelujah. Vitziotslay Trua. Kol Neshama Tahallelujah. Hallelujah. Kol Neshama Tahallelujah. Hallelujah. Page 29. Yishtabach Shimcha Le'ad Malkeinu. Barachot v'hod mirtaviad olam baruch et Adonai melech gadol batishbachot elodot adona niflot abocher b'shirei zimra melech olchei ha'olamim. We rise for the beginning of Shacharit, page 30, for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai ha'mevorach. Baruch Adonai Varach Lelam Va'ed. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech olam yotzei varei choshech oseh shalom varei et hakol. You may be seated. Hame'elot v'ladorim. Baruch Gedol Dehaich. כבוד לשמו מאורות נתן סביבות וזו פינות צבאיו קדושים רמה משדי תמיד. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו שבח מעשה ידיך ויאמרי שעשיתי יפה וכסילה. תתברך סורנו מלכין וגואל בריא קדושים, page 31. וכולם פותחים מפיהם בקדושת תורה בשירוב זמרה מברכים משבחים דברים מריצים ומקדישים וממליכים את שמו אל המלך הגדול גיבור והקדוש הוא. וכולם מקבלים עליהם מלכות שמיים זה מזה ונודרים רשות זה לזה להקדיש לעצמם בנחת רוח בשפה ורבנים הקדושה. כולם כחרונים ויאמרים ביראה Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech Haaretz Kavodo, Ve'ofanim v'chayot HaKodesh, Parash Gadol Menatzel Matzarafim, Ni'amatam, Meshabachim v'yomarim, Baruch v'Adonai, Mimkomo la'el, Baruch Nimhot Yiteinu. Or Chadash al Tzion ta'ir v'nizkecho lana mehera la'ora baruch et Adonai yotzer hamiorot. Page 32. Havarabavad avtanu Adonai Eloheinu chem l'gadol v'dechem al ta'aleinu avinu malkinu ba'avor avotenu shabatchu v'cha v'tlamden chukei chayim. וקרבת על שמך גדול באמת להודות לך יחדך באהבה ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בימו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך וקומך. וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך והיה אם שמות תשמעו אל מצוותיי. Kimi Hashem Martz. Vayomer Adonai Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'yamarta lehem v'yasu lahem tzitzit al kanfei v'gnehem ledor hatam v'natnu al tzitzit hakana patil techelep v'haya lachem letzitzit oritem hotos chartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem notam V'lo tatu acharei levavchem v'acharei nechem asher tem zonim achareihem l'man dizgaru v'azitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kadoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etechem eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Ledorvado kayam ushmo kayam v'chison achan malchuto v'yemanato le'ad kayamet. Bottom page 34. Udvar v'chayim. Emet shatahu Adonai Eloheinu v'levatenu makinu melech avotenu go'elenu go'el avotenu yotzrenu tzur yushatenu podenu matzilenu me'elam shemecha ein Elohim zulatecha. Page 35. Ezrat avotenu atahu me'olam magin mashil evnehem rachayim b'chodor v'dor. Tilod le'elyon brachum vrach Moshe uvnei eschalach nishira b'simcha rabba v'yamaru chulam michamocha ba'ilim Adonai mikamocha ned b'kodesh norati lo tosef ele shira chadasha shibachu ge'ule shimcha tzfat hayam yachad kulam odu v'him lecho v'yamaru Adonai yimloch le'lam v'ed Tzur Yisrael, Kuma B'Yezrat Yisrael, V'teichinu Mecha Yehuda V'Yisrael, Golen Adonai Tzavot Shemo Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Eta Adonai, Ka'al Yisrael. We rise for the Amidah, pages 36 through 44. We begin together for the first three brachot, page 36b. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu v'Eloheinu Eloi Avraham Eloi Yitzchak v'Eloi Yaakov Eloi Sarah Eloi Rivka Eloi Rachel v'Eloi Leah Ha'el Gadol Gibor v'Hanora Elad Yom Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Kanei Yaakov v'Zocher Chastei Avot U'Mevigu Elevnei V'neihem L'man Shemo B'Yahava Melech Hosea Foked U'Mashim Again Baruch Ata Adonai Magin Avram Mufaked Saram Natal Gibor Lelam Adonai Mechayem Itimato Rav Lo Shia Mashiv HaRuach Mrida Gashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayem Etim Brachamim Rabim Samech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim U'Matira Sirim U'Makayem Unato L'Shenei Afahar Michamocha Ba'Gavarot U'Mido Melach Melech Memit Mechayem Atzmiach Yeshua V'neman Atal Achayot Meitim Baruch Eta Adonai Mechayei HaMeitim Nikadesh Et Shimacha Ba'olam Kishem Shemakdishim Oto Mishmei Marom Kagedu V'yad V'yecha V'kara Zeh V'yamar Kadosh 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 Adonai Tzvaot Melech Haaretz Kavodo Li'amatam Baruch Yamehu Baruch V'Adonai Mimkamo Of divrei katecha katuv lemor yimloch Adonai le'olam ha'echsin ledor v'dor hallelujah ledor v'dor nagid godlecho netzach netzachim kedushak tenakdish v'shivachach alamim pinu lo yamush le'olam va'ed ki amelech kadov v'kadosh ata baruch et Adonai ha'el kadosh. מודים אנחנו לך. We will now transition to our virtual Torah service. Ask everyone to please rise or remain standing, page 65, as the ark is open. ויהי בן אהרון ויאמר משה קום אדוני ויוצבך וינוס משנאך מפניך כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו גדלו לאדוני תהיה רוממה שמו יחדיו לכל אדוני גדולה והגבובתיו נצח וההוד כי כל בשמיים ובארץ לכל מלאכה מתנשא לכל הראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו להדם רגליו קדוש הוא. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו להר קדושו כי קדוש אדוני Eloheinu. Welcome again to our Shacharit service. We are, as we did on Monday, reading from the beginning of the book of Shemot, from the book of Exodus. I will chant each of the three aliyot with a slight pause between, and then continue with our narrative of a detail of what the part of the portion means. Exodus 1:1. ואלה שמות בני ישראל הבאים מצרימה את יעקב איש ביתו באו ראובן שמעון לוי ויהודה יששכר זבולון ובנימין דן ונפתלי גד ואשר ויהי כל נפש יוצא ירך יעקב 70 נפש ויוסף היה במצרים ויעמוד יוסף וכל אחיו וכל הדור ההוא ובני ישראל פרו וישחצו וירבו ויעצמו במאוד מאוד ותמלא הארץ אותם. Second Aliyah, Exodus chapter 1 verse 8. ויקום מלך חדש על מצרים אשר לא ידע את יוסף ויאמר אל עמו הנה עם בני ישראל רב עצום ממנו הבה נתחכמה לו פן ירבה ותקרן מלחמה ונוסף גם הוא על שונאינו ונלחם בנו ועלה מן הארץ וישימו עליו שרי מיסים למען ענותו בסבלותם ויבן ערי מסכנות לפרעה את פתאום ואת רמסס וכאשר ינוי אותו כן ירבה וכן יפרוץ ויקוצו מפני בני ישראל. Third Aliyah, Exodus, Exodus chapter 1, verse 13. ויעבידו מצרים את בני ישראל בפרך, וימררו את חייהם בעבודה קשה, בחומר ובלבנים, ובכל עבודה בשדה, את כל עבודתם אשר עבדו בהם בפרך. ויאמר מלך מצרים למילדות העבריות, אשר שם האחד שפרה ושם השני פועה. ויאמר בילדכן את העבריות הוריתן על אבניים, אם בנו והמיתן אותו, ואם בתיך וחיה. ותראינה המילדות את האלוהים ולא עשו כאשר דיבר עליהם מלך מצרים, ותחיינה את הילדים. Continue with the synopsis of this portion. Read the second half. Meanwhile, back in Egypt, the old Pharaoh had died. The new one was no better, and the Hebrew children cried. God heard their cries and saw their pain, and his covenant did recall. Soon he would be sending them, the greatest leader of all. Now Moses tended Jethro's flock in wilderness there grazing. One day he saw a vision which was really quite amazing. A bush that seemed on fire and yet was not consumed in flame. And from the midst thereof he thought he heard God call his name. Moses, Moses, said the voice. It was an eerie sound. Take off your shoes from off your feet. You stand on holy ground. I am the Lord, I am the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob. My plan to free the Hebrew slaves I now do undertake. I've heard their cries and seen their pain, their suffering and despair, and now I've found the man they need to lead them out of there. He'll lead them to a goodly land with milk and honey flowing. So pack your bags, dear Moshe, because you're the one who's going. Who, me, said Moses. Who am I to go unto Pharaoh? I'm not a real good candidate. My speech is kind of slower. And when I tell the people that their father's God did to me, and when I tell the people that their father's God did send me, what name, Lord, shall I tell them so that they will comprehend me? I am who I am, that forever is my name. So go to Israel's elders, unto them proclaim, the God of their fathers gave me every indication that you will soon be freed from your current situation. Then you'll go to Pharaoh and ask for 3 days off for all the Hebrew slaves, but Pharaoh will just scoff. Next I'll smite all Egypt with my might and with my wonders. Eventually he'll let you go. He'll have to knuckle under. Moses still was skeptical the Hebrew slaves would swallow, that he was really sent by God. He doubted they would follow. God turned Moses' staff into a snake, a trick that could not fail, then turned it back into a staff when Moses grabbed its tail. God then showed Moses 2 more tricks that he had up his sleeve, guaranteed, the good Lord said, to make the slaves believe. Moses kept on trying this great mission to avoid till finally the story says that God became annoyed. God tells Moses that his brother Aaron will assist him. Moses then returns home where nobody had missed him. One more paragraph. Moses took his family into Egypt, he went. He met with brother Aaron and shared with him God's intent. The two then met the elders of the children of Israel. They told them of their mission and showed God's tricks as well. The elders all believed and they bowed their heads in prayer, but Pharaoh, on the other hand, was not inclined to care. Who is this God of Israel that I should fear him so? I do not know this God, nor will I let your people go. Then Pharaoh, just for spite, decreed the slaves would get no straw, but had to make no fewer bricks than they had made before. The slaves complained to Moses. He'd made their problems worse. And Mo complained to God. Things weren't going to be going as rehearsed. Then God replied to Moses, the fat lady ain't sung yet. I'll show this Pharaoh who's the boss. I don't make idle threats. The Pharaoh now may scoff and say, humbug, oh, or bah, but he'll be sorry later. That's the end of this Sedra. Now I will offer a Mishaberach for those in and out of our community in need of a blessing, special blessing for healing, spiritual, emotional, or physical. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Shavkarach V'lehu Yivarach V'rapeh Terry Aronoff, Helen Byrne, Rhonda Blitz, Brooke Ben Elisheva, Arnold Fast, Sheila Guidry, Chana Bat Sarah, Linda Smith, Marjorie Allen, Charles Miller, Sherry Rest, Iris Bat Rivka, Becca Martinez, Isaac Ben Joseph, Marcia Orange, Harav Malki Tzedek Ben, Barucha, Beckett Quinn, Bowman, Jerry Weisenfeld, Kay Booley, Jeannie Meisler, Miriam Batina, Tara Martinez Fernandez, Liz Wolko, Deanna Barber, Miriam Bat Rivka, Taraz Bat Ruth, Mark Platnick, Marlone Germaine Barnes, Virginia Madden, Raymond Lobato Jr., Natalie Copeland, Christopher Hill, Lorenzo Rivera, Tana Boulard Rivera, Ed Jackman, Scott Decker, Bela Bas Rivka, William Williams, Marilyn Fadomsky, Jim Mittenswy, Lucy and Tilly Colwell, Danny Bierman, Sheila Decker, Todd Bapp, Eugene Lobato, Rezo Bat Taraz, Roland Young, Marilyn Owens, Matt Zobel, Gittel Tamar Bat Miriam, Nami Rivka Bat Miriam, Yael Bat Nami Rivka, Sarah Shoshana Bat Nami Rivka. Viet Kolachim Bikila Kadosha Agudath Israel Tzachayim Vakila Temple Beth or Hakadosh Baruch Yimalei Rachamim Maleim Lachas Mchapotam Vishlach Lemer Forshlim Minashmat Nefesh Vudaguf Betoch Sha'achule Yisrael V'chazek Yidei Askin B'tzarechihem Hashtabag Lavizman Kari V'nomar Amen. Now return our Sefer Torah, page 76. Please rise as the ark is opened. Yahallalu et Shem Adonai ki niskav shemo levado hodu aleretz v'shamayim vayan keliamo tilalocho chasidav levnei escham kavo hallelujah leDavid mizmor l'Adonai la tevel v'yoshveva. Uvnucho Yomar, page 77. Ki lekach tov natati lachem matorati al tazovu et chayimi lamachazikim ba v'tom cheha meyushar deracheha Tarcheno am v'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh chadesh amenu chadesh amenu Kikedim. You may be seated. Page 78. Ashrei. Ashrei Yoshrei Veitecha. Tilat Adonai dabar pi v'vorek u'b'asher shem kajililam v'ed v'nachnu nevarech yemet avilam. Hallelujah. Lam natzich mizmor leDavid. Adonai shemech yinenu v'yom koreinu. Page 80. Uvaletzion goel v'shef yeshab Yaakov num Adonai v'nezobriti. V'yatad kadosh yoshev dilad yisrael v'kazaz v'yamhar kadosh 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 Adonai tzvot melech haaretz kavodo. V'atisher ruach v'shmar chorai kol chashkado baruch v'Adonai mimkomu. Adonai melech lilam vohid. Shenishma chokecha. Vayivtecha v'chol yedei shmech yiklav davdeshech Adonai Adonach v'tzmantzid go yagdid Torah aviyadi. Here we rise as the ark is open for Aleinu, page 83. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet kedula liutzeh bereshit shelo asanu kugoyei haratzot v'lo samanu kamishmachot hadama shelo sam chelkinu kahem v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim l'fnei melech malchei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Gagadu b'doretech Adonai mloch lilam voed v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom ma'u yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Those observing yard site and those who mourn remain standing and join me, page 84, for the Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash meraba b'yamad divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechan v'yamechan v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'agalav izman kariv yimaru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach lelam umel maya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalo shmei d'kudisha b'richu leilam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nachamata damiran b'yoma v'yimaru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav hu yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imaru amen. You may be seated. Conclude our service, page 89, the psalm for Thursday. On the fifth day of the week, the Levites recited the psalm in the temple for the leader upon the Gittit, a psalm of Asaph. Sing with joy to God our strength. Shout with gladness to the God of Jacob. Strike up a melody, sound the timbrel, play sweet tones on harp and lyre. Sound the shofar on the new moon and again on the full moon for our festival days. It is the law for the people of Israel, a statute of the God of Jacob. God ordained it for Joseph's descendants when he rose against the land of Egypt. I have heard the speech that I had previously ignored. I removed the burden from their shoulder. Their hands were freed from the load. When you answered out in distress, I rescued you. Unseen, I answered you in thunder. I tested your faith at an oasis in the wilderness. Hear this warning, my people Israel, if you would only listen. There shall be no strange God in your midst. You shall not worship an alien God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you up out of Egypt. Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people did not listen. Israel would have none of me. So I let them persist in their stubbornness. I let them follow their own inclinations. If only my people would listen to me. If only Israel would walk in my ways. How quickly I would subdue their foes and strike out at their oppressors. Enemies of Adonai shall be humbled. Their downfall shall be unending. But you I will feed with the richest of wheat. With honey from a rock I will satisfy you. Boker Tov, I wish all of you a wonderful rest of day. I look forward to joining you, or you joining me Friday night for Kabbalat Shabbat, and our very, very special cantorial Saturday morning service with Toria Stark and Carl Sayers, both rabbinical students at AJR. You wouldn't believe that they're students. You will come away thinking they've been professionals for years and years, and you'd be partially correct. So I look forward to welcoming you on Shabbat, and especially for that cantorial Shabbat Saturday morning. Boker Tov.